So I'm driving down the motorway and I'm doing about 50 mile an hour and I'm in slow lane and it's on the roof of a van and people in fast lane are driving past, slowing down, taking pictures, and they're like, what the fuck? So about 6 years ago now that we bought a Reliant Rialto, which is like the newer model, should we say. And it was a 1989, I believe, or maybe early 90s model. And we wanted it to look like the Only Fools and Horses van, just for marketing purposes. So much fun to drive. I mean, I remember driving this thing and we were doing like 80 mile an hour on country lanes with 3 wheels. Now, if you don't know anything about Reliant, they made fiberglass bodied cars. They were famous for 3 wheels. They did make other 4-wheel ones like Kittens and Scimitars and stuff like that. But I specifically wanted it to look like this Only Fools and Horses car. And we spent all day painting it. I went to the local DIY shop. I went and got the yellow. I went and got some black rattle cans to make it look a bit more scruffier. Anyway, me and my mate Lewis, I'll put a picture of him in. We spent all day painting this. And it didn't quite go to plan because we used emulsion. And I didn't realise that emulsion washed off. And yeah, it were a bit of a damp night, should we say. And when we went back to the van, which is now a van, it started bubbling in places. And it kind of actually made it look a bit better, but anyway, so that was a no-no. We got rid of that one. Now, the next one I bought was off a smelly old man. So basically, I get a call off a mate of mine saying there's a gentleman at his garage who wants some work doing on the Reliant. And they've quoted him something like £500 for this electrical work. And he says, well, I don't really want to pay that. I'd rather sell it. So he gave me a call up and I went up to the garage. Now, I've never met this bloke before. And I turns up at garage and there is literally a 4'9" midget. I wouldn't say midget, but he's a very small dude and he stunk. His name was Roy, and basically he told me he'd got this Reliant. It basically gave me a vague description, and we proceeded to get his number. And I says, right, well, I'll give you a call tomorrow to come and collect it. He says, well, when you come, you've got to take it. He says, because as soon as people see it, it'll get stolen. It's in a shady part of Sheffield. So I says, fine, that's not a problem. How much do you want for it? And he says, well, what's it worth? I says, well, scrap value is fiberglass, so, you know, I'll give you 80 quid for it, £80. And Roy goes, yeah, all right, I'll take that. So anyway, I rung him the next day, and he kept on repeating this. If you're going to buy it, you've got to take it. So I'm like, right, okay, how do I get this back from Sheffield to Chesterfield, where I live, Bolswell? And I was like, oh, Paddy Indian has got a medium wheelbase Iveco van. So I thought, right, brilliant. So I rung Paddy up and says, Paddy, do you want to go on a mission? He says, yeah, we'll go on a mission. What we getting? I told him, and he's like, right, okay. I says, look, the light, we can pick it up, can chuck it in back of van. He's okay. So we ended up going to Sheffield, and we went to a place called Pitsmoor in Sheffield, which is not the shadiest part of Sheffield, but it's high up there. You won't want to park your car there, you won't want to live there personally. And if you're watching from Pitsmoor, don't take any offence to it. It's just my preferable opinion. I just really wouldn't want to live there. So anyway, me and Paddy are like driving there. And he goes to me, have you seen this car yet? I'm like, no. All I know is it's a Reliant Robin, which is the previous one to the Rialto. Now, Del Boy's van were a Regal, but the Robins they don't look similar, but they've got the round headlights, and I didn't know if it were a saloon, a van, whatever. Anyway, we pulled up to Pitsmoor, and he opened his garage up, and me and Paddy looked at each other, And we were like, shut the front door, no way. And you could see the biggest grin on my face. And there is a yellow Reliant van with the hatchback, you know, with a side opening door. Oh, right, and it's in pretty much pristine condition. I've never chucked £80 at a dude as fast as I could. Literally, there's your money. Right, how do we get it in van? He says, well, it drives. And me and Ryan looks at each other, me and Paddy, and we're like, no way. But the lights didn't work. So, it was dark, we couldn't drive it home. And there's me, Paddy's about my build, but a bit taller than me, a strong lad like. And then there's 4'9" Stinky Roy. And we drove it to the van, we lifted the back end in, struggled so much, quite heavier than when we first fought. Anyway, we see these group of lads, and again, if you're from Pittsburgh, you'll know what I'm on about. A group of lads, and they're smoking weed on the side of the street. And I'm like, well, goes over to him, all right, pal, you wouldn't help us with this Del Boy van, would you? And these lads, they looked a bit getaway, but they were nice lads, to be fair, and they were like, yeah, of course. And they helped us get this into back at a van. So anyway, we get in back at van, I get in, I'm driving, Paddy's in passenger seat, and I was like overjoyed because I know I'm going to make money. You know what I mean? There's no way I can lose money. So I had to pop by my mum's, she lives in Sheffield. Anyway, we set off going up this hill. And as I set off, I heard the almightiest bang. And we forgot to put the handbrake on Reliant, so it had gone from front at van, shot backwards, hit back doors. Yeah, that was quite fun. So anyway, I got it back and left it on my drive for a bit, and people just wouldn't stop taking pictures of it. And eventually I got lights working and got it running perfect, and I was driving around in it, but I never really used it. So I'm looking on eBay. I've got the yellow Reliant and I've got the yellow Rialto, which would just look a mess. And I'm like, right, I could make two Robins basically. The Rialto body is very similar to a Robin. It was just like a facelift that they did. So I was looking on eBay, like I said, and I come across a Reliant Robin 1980s shell, early 80s. I think it was 83. And it was same again, it was a van, and it was just a shell. And I thought, right, bid. So I put a bid on it. Someone outbidded me. So I just, as a last resort, I just thought, right, I'll bid 50 quid on it. So bidded 50 quid. I won it. I actually won it for 31 quid. There was a slight issue at this point. I didn't realise it were down past Bristol. And Paddy Indian had sold his van. And at that time, I was working out of my combo van, Vauxhall combo van, which is a small two-seater, it's like an estate car, but with a higher roof. But it had a roof rack. So me and my other mate, Burnsy, which I'll put a picture here. This is Burnsy. Me and him went down. And the plan was we were going to go down there and chop it up at the side of the road with axles, with an angle grinder, and load it into the back of the van. Anyway, we gets there after, I think it were about 4-hour drive, let's just say. And this was a mint shell, pretty much mint. And it come with a logbook, and it was like, no way. So I give him the money. And we were just about to chop it up, and I was like, I can't do this because the shell is so good. It's in so much good condition. I feel quite bad doing it. So Burnsy and the guy who I bought it off was like, well, what are you thinking? So I was like, right, we're going to stick it on roof. And the guy looked at me and Burnsy looked at me and we're like, no way is that going to work. And I'm like, it is, trust me, it's going to work. At this point, I realised we only had 2 ratchet straps from Poundland just to ratchet straps stuff down in the van so it didn't rattle. So I thought, right, there's an Alfred's round corner, I'll find somewhere, you know, we'll drive really slow. Anyway, gets it on the roof, all the neighbours are out, and I mean, they're all looking like, no way is he going to drive with that on the roof. And a neighbour come out, and he gave me 3 ratchet straps, I believe, heavy duty ratchet straps. So we strapped it down, and away we went on his 200-mile trip back. Now, as you can imagine, this is a 1.3 litre Vauxhall combo, and it's not the powerfulest of vans, and especially when you've got another car on the roof. And we were all like, is that legal? And we were looking, well, it can't be illegal because it don't weigh a lot. It took 3 of us to lift it on. So we're driving back, and if anyone knows UK, you're driving up through Birmingham, there's always cops around Birmingham, and there's it's M42 towards M1. You know, I always see a lot of coppers around there. Anyway, we didn't see any coppers, but everywhere we went, people were taking pictures of us. Literally, people like us, like at the intro, people were like, what the whack? Yeah, I blurred that one out. But people were taking pictures, videoing. So if you're watching this and you were the ones who were taking pictures, because there must have been hundreds, please send them in, or please comment down below if you've got that picture. Anyway, we gets it back, and down the road there were a traffic cop, and I thought, here we go, we're gonna get pulled. And he just drove straight past us, didn't even really give us a glance, but I thought, you know. So we gets it back, and there's me and Burns are trying to get it off the roof. And the problem with that were, it's not heavy, it's just bulky, and there were a lot of sharp edges. And to this day, I've still got a scar on my hand from where I sliced my hand open. Anyway, long story short, with that one, we ended up mingling parts and this and that. And I managed to sell the yellow one for a good profit. The blue one, I managed to sell the shell on, and I managed to get a few other parts out of it and sell them on for a decent profit. And the Rialto sold on as well. Well, we actually stripped that for parts and made good profit. So that is my Reliant experiences. And to this day, people still laugh at that picture of the Reliant on the roof of the combo van. So if you like this video, please subscribe, please like it, please share it, and I'll see you next Car Talk, Car Stories. And we'll be doing a few more because I've had a fair few adventures in my time. So thanks for watching, goodbye.